Hello YouTube and welcome to this Explain 10 video. Today we're going to be flying from Geneva in Switzerland to Barcelona in Spain aboard the 757-200 by Flight Factor. And through the course of the video I hope that I can give you useful information on how to operate this beautiful payload aircraft by Flight Factor. By the way, the 767 by Flight Factor is nearing release. I'm not exactly sure if I'm actually going to get the 767. I hear that it's got very advanced systems, but we'll just wait and see. Before we jump into the cockpit, let's go ahead and look at our flight plan, and then we'll jump into the cockpit and begin the preparation for departure. Okay, so this is where we are right now, and we're going to be departing runway 23, so that means that we're going to have to taxi down this way and all the way to runway 23. This is Swissair Flight 1946, and we are going to be flying a flight level of 300 today. The total distance is 366 nautical miles, and we're going to be arriving into Barcelona runway 25 right, and it's going to be an ILS approach. Basically, in terms of fuel and payload, today the release fuel for our flight is 14,883 pounds, and basically we're going to be carrying 163 passengers on board today. All the SIDS and star information will come back to this as we plan our flight into the FMC. For right now, basically this is what we need to look at. Let me remove this and let's take a look at our flight path. This is basically how we're going to fly. Up until here we're flying basically this SID, and then we are going up until here actually, until Balzi. Balzi is the SID, assigned SID for our flight. This is where we're going to reach our top of climb, and then we are going to be beginning our descent right before we reach Albert, which is the beginning of our star approach into Barcelona. Okay, enough of that. Let's go ahead and begin the preparation for our flight. Okay, folks, so we are in the 757 flight deck, and let's go ahead and begin our preparation. Before I start, just a quick note. I've been requested to do this as a full flight tutorial, so as much as possible I'll be using the default plugins that come in with the 757 just to give you perhaps an appreciation of the systems that this aircraft has. One quick note before we begin. The Flight Factor 767 is on its way to be released, and I believe the release is going to be imminent. And I think it's just as detailed in terms of its textures. I've seen some screenshots of the flight deck of the 767, and it looks very, very good. I'm just not sure that it offers much more immersion than what the 757 does. But nevertheless, it remains to be seen. I'll probably wait a bit after its release, and then I will probably grab it and play with it. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and begin the cockpit preparation. The battery can go on, and APU generator can go on, bus ties can go on, utility bus can go on, generators can go on, and let's go ahead, we need the one fuel pump to be on for the APU. Let's go ahead and start the APU. Okay, and let's go ahead and set things up here. Alright, we need to open the doors for basically the passengers and fuel truck to do their job. This is a gate configuration. So we need the fuel truck right there. And let's enter the number of passengers, 163, cargo, 5,000 pounds, APU time is 20 minutes, taxi time is 20 minutes, contingency is 2,000 pounds, alternate is 2,000 pounds, and the release fuel, trip fuel is 8,000 pounds of fuel. Let's load the plane, and now the fuel is basically loading. Okay, let's continue with our, so the APU valve can go on, the isolation valve can go on, and let's go ahead and set these to auto. Okay, so that's auto. Those can go on. This can go to auto. And then let's turn the packs on so that the passengers don't feel too hot back in the cabin. So the air conditioning is on now. Emergency lights can be armed, and the position light can go on. Okay, hydraulic pumps can go on. And now for the IRS, this is how you set the IRS. You select a line, okay, there's something not right here. Okay, well, everything looks okay to me, so, there we go. Standby power should be on auto, and now the DC fail message is gone. Okay, so let's head over to the FMC. This we can remove for the time being. And for the FMC, we do the position initialization. We are at Lima Golf Sierra. No. We are at Lima Sierra Golf. Yep, that's the correct ICAO code for Geneva. And now we select this. Oops. Okay. Now we come back here, back to the IRS. You say position. And now you switch them to nav. Okay, so as you can see now we have the correct position here in the IRS mode selector. So this is basically, it should correspond to 46142 echo 00606.5, which is the correct position. Good stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and continue programming the FMC. So our route today is Lima Sierra Golf to Lima Echo Bravo Lima, which is Barcelona, and that's the company route. We activate and execute. Departure, we're going to be departing runway 23 through the Ball 6 Alpha SID. Execute that, and we are going to be arriving into Barcelona on the LB1 Tango Star ILS runway 25 right. Execute. And now let's look at our flight plan. Alright, let's make this a bit bigger. Let's step through. That sounds a bit strange, but okay. Right, everything looks good. We have a disco here, which is a discontinuity. So let's take care of that. Next, okay. So everything looks good in terms of the flight plan. Let's go ahead and switch this back to flight plan. Yep, that's good. Yes, everything looks okay. Alright, let's go for performance initialization. And reserve 2.3. Cost index is 50. Flight level is 300. Okay, transition altitude is 10,000 feet. Flaps 5. And these are our V1, VREF, and V2 speeds today. So in terms of the FMC, everything looks good. Let's put this back onto the legs. Alright, and let's go ahead now and let's cancel the caution sign there. Right, so flight director can go on. LNAV and VNAV can go on. Auto throttle can go on. VOR DME should be on auto on both sides. Okay, let's turn on our radios. On VHF1. Good stuff. So everything looks okay here. Right, set this later. This, by the way, you need to set the frequency and the course for the ILS runway, and this is where you basically do that. Okay, everything looks very good. Right, so let's set the altimeter. And let me just quickly look at the airport code here. Alright, so the altimeter is 1033.
Flight level 220. Flight level 220, 23, thank you, goodbye.
Right. And the same thing should go here.
209er, checking for keep level 370. Italia 209er, bonjour, identify
right. So that's done.
Thank you.
Okay, the altimeter is set. And now we are good to basically call the pushback truck and basically take off. Right, so let's go ahead and close the doors. Okay. Right, so all doors are closed now. Let's give it some more volume. And the fuel truck can go away. Right, let's prepare things for departure. Go damper on. Hydraulics can go on. What else? Air. Engines is fine. Fuel pumps can go on.
Descending flight level 160, passing 170
small signs can go on. Seat belts can go on. And what else there? Everything's fine. We need to turn the packs off for departure. Okay. Alright, let's call the tow truck.
820, bonsoir, report you're cleared flight level. Clear flight level 230, summit 820. Roger, 820 maintain, direct to Tango, Oscar Papa VOR, further descent in 1 or 2 minutes. Direct to Tango, Oscar Papa VOR, from 820. Again, VOR clear, that's from 820. Tango, Oscar Papa VOR.
Okay, let's lock and begin the pushback.
Oscar Papa 716. Good evening, Kilo Cap 6 Echo Delta, maintaining 8.
Perfect. Okay, we can now start our engines. Let's start with engine number 2.
Right, 10 degrees, descent flight level 160.
And we have to wait until this is at 20% of N2. This can go on to RTO. Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and give it some fuel.
773, arrival 136,250. Bye-bye.
136,250 is R1 at 773, goodbye.
And Nostrum 8820, descent flight level 210. 210, Nostrum 8820.
Okay, pushback is complete.
Milano 125.
There's an aircraft taken off right there. Okay. Let's do engine number 1. And the same procedure, you have to wait for this to reach about 20% of N2.
We're following the Banco 2 Romeo arrival in 773.
Transport follow 75 Echo Yankee, auto flight level 1901 for flight level 160. From the 5 Yankee, bon flight level 110 and expect to take in the
remove the pushback truck. Alright, that's good enough. And let's give it some fuel.
Is not available then? Not now, we'll keep you advised as soon as possible. Okay, merci.
I think it's getting a bit dark here, so let's go ahead and turn the cockpit lights.
Kilo flight level 350 to
there we go.
November, Mach 477 maximum.
It is for Kilo, bonjour identify.
Okay, so we have good start on both engines. So we can go ahead and turn the packs on now. Everything looks okay. The isolation valve can be closed now. APU valve can be closed. The APU can go off. APU generator can go off. And let's turn on our taxi lights. On. Everything else looks good. Let's give the cabin some lights there. Okay, everything looks good. Everything is fine here. And everything is fine here. AP generator is off. That's fine. All of this is okay. So we can dismiss that. Okay, so flaps 5 for departure. And off we go. Oh, one thing. In the 757, you have to play the safety instructions, otherwise this guy will keep bothering you throughout the flight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so let's do that.
As the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features.
Okay, parking brake released.
When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fittings one into the other, and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. The Boeing 757-200 airliner has 10 emergency exits, 4 forward, 2 aft, and 2 over each wing. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft.
Roger, report your requested level. Like flight level 3 is available for beeline 3 to Charlie. Right then.
That 80 is step down there.
267 bonsoir, direct to top, descend flight level 200.
Flight level 200 on course to Tokyo, Airlines 267.
Correct, 267, and it's possible that you encounter some light icing on your road towards the Tokyo. Below level 240. Yankee 27,000 feet on H1017, just trading approach runway 23. And 6836, clear for level 160. Clear for level 160, yes, and 686.
Okay, folks, so we are close to runway 23, where we're going to be basically departing. So let's go ahead and set the parking brake, and let's turn our landing lights can go on, taxi lights can go off, and we're good to go. Release the parking brake.
15815, goodbye.
Let's get lined up. Are stable. That warning was the stabilizer, which unfortunately I forgot to set. Okay, positive rate, gear up. Okay, and let's keep it at 10-degree pitch. I think we can arm the autopilot now. Flaps 1.
And we have night turbulence below flight level 85 until now. Thank you.
Now we can retract the flaps. It's a bit foggy in Geneva. Okay, everything looks good. All systems are normal. Okay folks, so basically we're going to be continuing our climb to flight level 300, and it's quite nice here in Geneva. I like this weather, and it's actually in Kuwait today. It's very cold. It's about 8 degrees Celsius in Kuwait. We had some light showers this morning. Okay, folks, so we are now at our top of climb. We reached flight level 300, which we are going to be maintaining for the duration of the flight until we reach our top of descent. There isn't anything else to do at this point other than monitor the aircraft systems and make sure everything is okay. There are some nifty little features to add to the realism in this 757, which you can do by clicking here and going to the PA announcement. You've got some wild routes you can, do the service on board entertainment and various other things.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you cold drinks, as well as a light meal.
It's a nice feature. It adds to your experience. But other than that, I will see you right before our top descent. And until then, enjoy the flight. Okay, folks, so we are approximately, let's see, we are 60 nautical miles from our top of descent, so we need to basically reset the MCP altitude, and we're going to reset that to our final altitude of 2,300 feet. So let's do that. Okay, and then we need to basically set up the configure the radio for our ILS approach. So what you do is you go to the performance initialization, and this is basically the ILS frequency and course that you need to set in order to intercept the ILS. So let's go ahead and do that. It's 109.5. Yep, yeah, we've got a little bit of turbulence, and the course is 246. Okay, so that is now set, and we should be beginning our descent shortly. Flaps 30, our VREF today is 124 knots for landing, and let me go ahead and check the altimeter for Barcelona. Okay, so the altimeter for Barcelona is 1032. The QNH is 1032. We will set that as soon as we hit the transition altitude, which is 10,000 feet. And as you can see, the aircraft has begun its descent now, as we have hit the top of descent. I think we may require more drag. So let me go ahead and manually set this to 1,000 feet per minute is fine. And I will reduce speed to 264 knots. Yep, that looks okay. So we have begun now our descent into Barcelona. And before we forget, let's go ahead and set our brakes to 2. Okay, that's good. So we are now descending into Barcelona, and I think we're looking good. Let's see here. We need to be below 25,000 by the time we reach Albert. Yeah, I think we should be fine. Everything's okay. Our fuel level is fine. All aircraft systems are as per design intent. And reduce speed to 250 knots. And I've increased our vertical speed so that we can descend a little bit faster. Okay folks, so we are at our transition altitude, so let's go ahead and set the altimeter, which is 1032. Set it here as well. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's see here, what else do we need to do here? Fine, everything is okay, and we'll keep descending. And we need to be at 7,000 feet. Very soon. I think we're okay. We were a little too high previously, but I think we are okay now. Okay, we've begun our turn now towards the airport. Okay, let's reduce speed to 180 knots. Yep, I can see the airport now. It's right there in front of us. Everything looks good. Okay, I'm going to reduce speed to 170 knots. Okay, let's go ahead and engage the approach button now. Okay, the localizer has been captured. Speed to check the VREF, which is 123. Okay, 123 knots. That's 128. Okay. So let's reduce speed to 130 knots. And flaps full. Let's disengage the autopilot now. And now it's my plane.
Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Screen. And welcome to Barcelona. Okay folks, I hope that you've enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. Bye bye for now.